picture at? There we go. Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Laughing Man Network. I'm your host, the Laughing Man. So I will tell you that there is a lot of weird news going on, just like the last video that I did a few weeks back. Again, a lot of the videos that I'm doing, I'm posting on Odyssey, but I haven't figured out where to go really on doing the Odyssey live streams, mainly because I probably haven't really been looking for it. I'm pretty much nonstop work. So, but we have the 9/11 memorial that was pretty much a joke. I mean, earlier today I'm seeing videos of left wing type people ripping down flags in California. They destroyed the memorial for the 13 soldiers. They're throwing eggs at what the hell's his name? But anyways, it it just seems like everything is jumping into a boiling pot. You know, this dude right here. I mean, this is the Infowars news site. All right, so like this dude right here, Millie. He apparently is being accused right now of, in my personal opinion, if it's true, I believe it should be considered treason. Oh, what's that? Okay. Personal opinion would be the dude Millie. If it's true that he called China when Trump was in office saying, I'll let you know if we're going to have a war, that right there should be considered treason. But why should someone like him be held accountable for it when nobody other than a Republican is being held accountable for it? I like Tim Pool, but you got this dude. A few months back, he had some dude pass out. It's got weapons, drugs, a shit ton of ballots in his car. And Tim will sit there and say, "Well, that's not voter fraud. That's nothing really to look at. You know, it's one little thing." Well, it takes that one little thing to cause a fire. Now, Gavin Newsom in California, is a bad dude. He doesn't care about anyone but himself. Can you tell the frustration I got? It's kind of like, there's no more drive in it in this or pretty much anything anymore. I'm just waiting for whatever to happen gonna happen. Is the world gonna end? Who the fuck knows? I have no idea. What a time to try to quit smoking or to attempt to quit smoking. Because every day I wake up, there's more crap to throw on from what yesterday was. You got Biden going to California gaffing everywhere. I mean, the dude didn't. I swear it's like the Democrats are doing this to make jokes out of all of us. And for me, like I said, you know, I don't know exactly what's gonna happen to the country if we keep fighting each other. You know, I don't believe in abortion. I don't. But I'm not going to go out there and picket to stop you from having abortion. I don't want to know about it. I don't want my money that I give to the government to go towards, you killing your baby. Because I don't want to know about it. The government shouldn't even be involved in killing babies because When Planned Parenthood got caught up on selling baby parts, not even Trump held them accountable. Because the Democrats said, oh, well, it's a woman's right. Well, fine, it's a woman's right. Personal opinion, I believe the woman that had the abortion or has the abortion should take a little bit of punishment, you know, because you're killing somebody, you know. My sister believes that it's a woman's choice. Okay, that's fine. She'll sit there and come up with all this crazy shit about, oh, well, it's well, what if they were raped by their father or their brother or their uncle or, shit like that. Okay. But why do I need to know about it? You see what I'm getting at? Why do I have to be held accountable for or held to a standard to be basically vilified and have massive arguments because I don't agree? Why is the government demanding all Americans get vaccinated, but they don't demand Congress or judges to get vaccinated? Why is YouTube shutting down streams and channels? Why does YouTube, every time I do a live stream within 20 minutes or a premiere within 30 minutes to 24 hours, I get slammed with a takedown notice and I get slammed with the fucking thing? I've heard other creators, because I like listening to other creators, but I'm to the point where, I'm going to tell the creators I watch, either upload your shit to Odyssey, because I'm pretty much done with YouTube. Yeah, YouTube's great. It's got a bunch of stuff, but you know what? They're even starting to take down car videos. They're even starting to take down fucking car videos. And I ask myself, why do I put so much effort into things that I do? Well, if you guys follow me on Facebook, you would know last Valentine's Day, my mom went to go get some surgery in Washington. All right. Not DC, but the state. It was basic back surgery. And the doctor did it so fast that he didn't pay attention to what he's doing, and about a day later my mom's gone. So yeah, my family's going after the hospital. I'm not gonna say what hospital, but it's in Washington. Take a guess. And it's supposed to be one of those good hospitals. Alright? And then, I did my little Facebook thing talking about it, went to the funeral, did all of this, and then today I wake up and I find out Veritas is coming out talking about how the nursing staff in old folks homes, now mind you, this isn't a hospital, but you never know, it could be the same thing. We're just waiting on the hospitals to come out and blow the whistle. But they were doing signatures for things that they were going to do to the patient that was supposed to help them, but then they never did it, but yet they collected the money for it. So I go back, to the whole drive thing. I'm burnt. I'm burnt on YouTube, killing the channel. I'm burnt on the political bullshit that's going on because no one's being held accountable. This clown right here, this clown right there, is basically getting away with whatever the hell he wants. And nobody is going to hold them accountable. And I feel to myself, so why bother talking about it? What's the point? Why should I aggravate myself to this? I mean, this dude basically had a call with China and was saying all kinds of stuff, and everybody's talking about it except the news. I've been on CNN. No one's talking about it. I've been on Fox News. No one's talking about it. Hell, they're not even talking really about the election that's happening in California, the recall. So you ask yourself, what's the fucking point? And then you got people like Tim Pool saying, oh, well, don't give up. Well, I agree with that. Don't give up. If you signed the shit for a recall, boot the dude out. Don't listen to them when they say shit like, well, we're not going to win because um, we're not going to win because, you know, there's voter fraud already. You know, that's not the point. The point needs to be if you sign the damn ballot to get it, get your ass out. And then you got people coming in saying, oh, well, I went to go vote. And they say I already voted. So you ask yourself the question, who were you going to vote for? Larry Elder or Gavin Newsom? If you're going to vote for Larry Elder and someone voted your shit, then you should start fucking recording a live stream on Facebook. But you'll get kicked off. And it's against the law to vote or to stream in a voting room. So I'll say again, what's the point? Nothing that we Americans do or are doing right now makes a difference because nothing that we Americans are trying to do is able to get done. Because we're fighting the machine. And the machine is slamming every damn thing they got at us. Because this dude right here, if you're gonna go after this guy for giving aid to China, which I don't really give a damn what anybody says, fuck China, blow them up, nuke the shit out of them. I hate China. I think it's a waste of goddamn space. You know, you could sit there and say, oh, well, the people are good people. No, they're not. They're mooks. They're slaves. They're beaten down. They're one step below where I'm at right now. And I know if I go to that step where I start following every damn decree that these government mother come up with, then you know, you're what do you do? Then what do you do at that point? You know what I'm saying? It's like right now. I'm fighting with YouTube as we speak right now. It keeps saying that it's not getting enough. I have the top of the line. Says I'm live. But it says error, not reviewing enough things. I've done everything it's asked. But how much more do the American people have to take? You got Antifa shooting people in the foot because they're Proud Boys. And they're probably going to get away with it. You got Proud Boys getting arrested because they're dumb enough to stay behind and talk to those little bitch ass police. Like for me, I hate cops. I hate them with a passion. I mean, I don't think that you should talk shit on cops. I don't think you should, you know, if they pull you over, show as much respect as you can. I've been arrested by cops multiple times in my life. Hell, I've been arrested by cops in front of my family. And I'll be like, and I'll sit there and be like, oh, don't worry about it. And they'll be like, but Chris, you're going to jail. It's fine. I'll be out in less than 24 hours. Basically going into the jail, being booked, and then being sight released. Hell, I've been arrested, put in a car, told the cop, hey, I want to quit smoking. So I'm glad that you're taking me. It's a Friday. I'm going to sit in jail till Monday. It's Friday evening. So that gives me tonight without a cigarette, tomorrow without a cigarette, Sunday without a cigarette, and then Monday morning I see the judge and then get released. That's 2 and like about 10 hours or 12 or 15 hours without a cigarette. And you know what the cop did? This is during the Oakland riots. Obama was in office, you know? So, you know what happened? The sheriff let me out. Now, mind you, the sheriff didn't actually do his job because I had called them previously because my brother's smoke shop had gotten broken into. Almost busted out the window, and they were trying to jack stuff, but we had not the bars on the outside, but the bars on the inside of the store. But they had busted a window out and tried to jack stuff. So after he released me, I was like, okay, cool. So can you come over here and start making a report on the window that got busted out? And you know what the sheriff did? He drove off. Now, sheriffs in the high desert of California, I personally believe they work for themselves. They don't really care about the people. I'm pretty sure there's enough. But when you have a judge and his relative, because I don't know if it's his son or not, so we'll just say relative. All right, in Yucca Valley, his son is a sheriff, or his relative is sheriff of the town. He gets drunk, takes the sheriff's vehicle, drives it erratically, flips it, and then winds up being put in, doesn't go to jail, doesn't lose his job. He gets placed in the courts as the bailiff. You know what I mean? California needs its help very badly. And I know I'm bouncing all over the place, but again, it's like I said, I don't know what to bitch about anymore. Everything's so blah. Nothing shocks me anymore. But anyways, I digress. Let me try to put this in perspective, all right? All right, where is that? Okay, so we'll come over here and check this out. All right, so this right here is what is treason? Treason is a rare and very serious crime. Learn what about to understand terms like levying war and adhering to the enemy. If you're gonna go after Flynn or that dude that had the call when Biden or Trump was in office, and then had the conversation with Nancy Pelosi, and then you're gonna need to go after Nancy, because half those Democrats within the year that Trump, okay, was in office, those people had either Chinese people working for them, Chinese people helping them get elected, Chinese people being their drivers, and it doesn't stop there. It seriously doesn't actually stop. None of it does. And that's the crazy thing about all of this. No one got held accountable. When Antifa's burning everything down, you got the Hunter Biden laptop scandals. If this was Trump's kids, they'd be in prison. But because it's a Democrat's kid, he could do the drugs right there in front of you. Have the interview talking about the drugs. Talking to somebody that is helping his dad get elected, and he's smoking crack. And nobody gets held up. His wife or girlfriend or whoever it is takes his gun because she believes he's going to kill someone or himself, and then throws it in a dumpster next to a school. Nothing happened. Nothing at all. If we can't even follow the basic rules, then how can I expect anybody to care what this guy did? Why should anyone care about what this guy did? His name's Millie. And it's alleged, but I would like to see if there's actually a transcript of this. Now, when Trump was in office, now again, treason. All right, so let's jump back to this page over here. Treason. Treason is the highest crime defined as internationally betraying one's allegiance by levying war against the government or giving aid or comfort to its enemies. For 20 years, mind you, everybody listen. For 20 years. Now this is the thing that I don't understand why, like I like listening to Tim when I work cuz I work for myself. But for 20 years we've been with war with Al Qaeda and terrorists and all this bullshit. And since then, within that 20 years, right? When Obama was in office, he released 5 people for Dorberg or whatever, that military guy, which apparently came out that he left his unit and was helping them because when he got caught up, a bunch of his people got shot up. Well, we gave up 5 terrorists for him. That's aiding in my eyes. That's aiding the Al Qaeda's. All right, the Al Qaeda's. Trump decided, right? Trump decided to say, hey, we've been here for almost 20 years now. It's time for us to get the fuck out. Hey, Al Qaeda, listen up, my guys. Listen up, sons. We're going to bomb the out of you if you do anything stupid. Okay? This is when we're going to be out. This is when we're going to start. But you're not going to come in. You're not going to mess with nothing. All right? So then, what happened? For whatever reason, a good portion of the American people, which are now coming out in droves, bitching and moaning about what happened. They're coming out and they're crying about the state of what Biden has put us through. And in the process of that, Biden, that they said that he was going to be the best alternative to Trump, allowed. Now, mind you, these are the voters of the United States, not me, because I voted for Trump. But these people hated this country so much that they chose to put a potato in office. I don't even want to call him Sleepy Joe. He's not sleepy. He's a simple person that as long as he gets a paycheck and is able to fly around and do things, I mean, then he's fine with it. I mean, check it. This dude was in a fire station, and in the process of being at the fire station, where's it at? Go. There we go. I don't know if it's going to be there. Anyways, in order for him to be at this fire station, you would figure that the people surrounding him would know that these kids are wearing Trump hats. So he's getting hugged on by children, or he's hugging the children. Oh, what's that? That's not supposed to be like that. Huh. Weird. Weird, weird, weird. Alright, let's see here. Da, 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 da. There we go. Alright, so I redid the. Alright, so I redid the title. So, anyways, so the people that are supposed to be surrounding Biden, they don't realize that kids are wearing Trump hats, Trump shirts, and they're standing there with them, which is funny as hell. And nobody even knows about it. I'm sure they know about it now, but How did he not know about it then? How did they not know about it? Oh, hey, if you want to take a picture with the president, you can't be, having other people's things on you. Other people's like Trump 2024, or Trump will be back. You shouldn't have those things. Okay, cool. So we've been with war with Iraq and the Al Qaeda's and all of them, and then right as because mind you, until we pull out, that means all of our people are out, not just the military. I'm talking about civilians like myself. Unless they're all out, we're still at war. So you got Biden telling the president of Iraq, "Well, just tell the American people that everything is good." And then this dude ditches. Our State Department are very fit to call him a coward. But why the hell should he go the same route Saddam? We put Saddam in power before I was born. And then we went at Saddam after 9/11. I remember 9/11. So when I got little punk ass kids out there in their early 20s, early fucking 17s, coming out saying F America, we're not gonna deal with America the way we don't care about it. We want socialism and stuff like that. Those are the type of people that need the help. Those are the type of people that need to be flown into the back parts of Mexico, right? And then say, when you make it back to America, we'll let you in, but hopefully you'll have a better understanding of how much America will mean to you. I can't justify saying, well, these kids should join the military on the simple grounds it will make no sense, because they'll turn their back on America and join the Al Qaeda's. So yeah, in my opinion, yeah, we're still in a war with Al Qaeda. I don't care what anyone else says about it, because they're not going to change my mind. We're still at war with Al Qaeda, and we're going to be at war with Al Qaeda however long these stupid little pretend wars are going to go for. And yes, I said pretend, and I'll say pretend on the simple fact that it doesn't matter anymore, because we're already helping our enemies. China is our enemy. They take our shit, they take our money, they take our stuff. They probably helped Al Qaeda bomb the Twin Towers. They're apparently now they're saying it was Saudi Arabia. Everyone knew that Saudi Arabia had something to do with this shit from early 2000. So why are they being brought up now? They were being sued by the people of New York, of which family members got taken down, but Obama canceled it. And I'm supposed to care now. What's up, babies? I mean, this little cat right here has more sympathy for the American people than half the people in this government. And because they don't care about us. They think we're spoiled little punks. They think that we're going to follow whatever directives they come up with. Now, personally, I rarely use Facebook, Twitter, things like that, right? And YouTube, I use to watch videos, and sometimes I'll get around doing a live stream or, some videos. But I've been checking out the Odyssey. Now, YouTube will shut down my videos because I'm hurting China's feelings. Okay, well, in my eyes, I'm in war with China because China's a dumbass place. So that would be my definition of, YouTube, Twitter, aiding the enemy. Now, Biden decided to leave Afghanistan in the middle of the night, from what I understand. All the sources I've heard have said in the middle of the night they left the Air Force Base and took off. And then within that time, he decided to send some people back in, acting like, oh, yeah, no, we didn't leave. We still got people there. Okay, that's understandable. No, it's not. Because you're not supposed to leave until everyone's gone. So that punk ass started a vacuum that kicked off a major storm. Did he let the Al Qaeda's know that he was going to do that? That right there would be my definition of aiding the enemy. All right? You understand? Now check this out. This says government or giving aid and comfort to the enemies. Again, terrorists are our enemies. What did we leave our enemies when we left Afghanistan? Guns, tanks, jets, helicopters, planes, missiles, ammunition, bases. Did we blow any of that stuff up to get rid of the ammo? No, we didn't. We let them have it. They bombed some Arabian dude or some African dude, Afghanistan guy that was known in the military as someone that dished out water, helped people, did things like that, and they droned him. Why didn't they drone the planes and the helicopters and the stockpiles of guns and missiles? Joe Biden wants to disarm the American people, but he wants to give our weapons to the frickin' enemy. These Democrats want to take our weapons and take our freedoms for granted. Now, when you're on these sites, because they went fucking Hitler status on these sites, you feel like you don't have any freedom. And when you sit there and you see the videos chilling on, where is it at? You got those sites chilling on, or when you're walking, right? And you go to get a job, and that job sits there and says, "Oh, I need you to get the vaccination before I can hire you." For starters, you're not supposed to know what the fuck I get. In my eyes, that would be treason. So now, in order to have a job, you have to sit there and give your personal life story of everything that you think you're able to do. They take it from you. Now, where I'm at, I'm perfectly fine. It doesn't seem like my freedoms have been taken. I don't live in a big city. I live where there's a bunch of farms. But there's only so much people can take because you got treasonous things like this and nothing's being held accountable. Dr. Fauci gave money to the Chinese Wuhan labs to do these things. It's come out. It's been proven. YouTube, if you want to, destroy the channel, do it. I don't care. There's Odyssey. I can do the videos on this setup and then upload them to Odyssey and not worry about it. It's not like, I'm going to get, that much traction anyways because you've limited my scope of reach, YouTubes. I'm still waiting for the notification that I went live. So in a sense, I'm basically finishing this video or doing this live stream just so I can take the copy of it and upload it to Streamlabs. So treason. Biden and this military gave comfort and aid and money to Al Qaeda. This general right here, this clown right here that came in with Donald Trump 17 months before the election, which makes me wonder if, Trump was like, "Oh yeah, this dude's really good, so take him." So Trump's like, "All right, I hear good things about you. I'm going to bring you in." And this dude spent his entire time with Trump as a double agent. Treason. And he's going to get away with it. Like Dr. Fauci got away with it. Do you honestly think the dude's book isn't going to get published or a movie ain't going to be made about him, even though the History Channel decided to say, oh, we're not going to do it because it's not the right time? No, within a year or so, it's going to happen again. It's going to come out. New viruses are going to come out. Everything that is happening now is going to keep coming, and there isn't a damn thing anybody can do about it. And on this next one, so if you're going to hold this clown responsible, there are at least three others that you can hold responsible because of what this sick government is doing. Now we have things like this happening. Chinese warships approach Alaska as U.S. Navy increases presence in South China Sea. Now, is this true or not? I don't know. One, I'm not in Alaska. But it's like 4 years Trump decided to try to stop all the wars. And within 8 months, this dude is trying to do his best to put us in a world war. The U.S. Coast Guard revealed a significant incident involving the Chinese military vessels coming near America waters off Alaska. Well, the incident was first divulged to the public on Monday. It's happened at the end of August. Now, here's the thing. You've got the election that's overshooting everything in California, unless it's on the news. Then it's not overshooting shit. Okay. You got the Afghan thing happening. You have the border thing happening. You have now this thing happening. What are they trying to cover up? Just say we're gonna go to war, man. Just say the reason we pulled out of Afghanistan is because we had a bigger enemy. Now, I hate to blow the whistle for a Nazi. And I really would love to know what the hell this dude George Soros has got planned. But now this dude's going after China. Why? I thought he was a socialist. Up to Thursday, I was under the impression he liked China. But now George Soros is against China. Is it because, they're making more money? I have no idea. I have no idea, everybody. No less than four people, no less than four people's Liberation Army (PLA) Navy ships were spotted at shadowed by U.S. vessels off Alaska's Ultrani Islands, including a guided missile destroyer and guided missile cruiser, as well as in intelligence gathering. Now, I will tell you right now, what do you guys think? What do you think the future's going to hold? If this is true, that means either they're going to send a nuke or a missile into Canada, or it's going to bypass Canada and hit DC. And the only reason we know about it is because it's on InfoWars. I didn't hear anything about this, but it says the Coast Guard revealed it. Why hasn't anyone in the news talked about it? Aiding the enemy? Treason? They got a little slogan for China Joe. Is he aiding them? During deployment, Birdhoff Kimball observed four ships from the People's Liberation Army Navy plan operating as close as 46 miles off Aleutian Island coast. What the hell is going on, man? Following international law, The U.S. or I'm sorry, statement said while the ship were within the U.S. exclusive economic zone, they followed international laws and norms and at no point entered the U.S. territorial waters. I think it's kind of like a sneak attack, but they got caught. And I think because China owns the media in Hollywood, that they told those medias and the Hollywoods just stay out of it. Don't talk about it. Let the crazy InfoWars talk about it. Is it going to be like the January 6th, where the officers that were involved and the majority of the officers that didn't hold the pike for the Democrats are suddenly committing suicide? I mean, they're biting the dust. The U.S. statement said further the Chinese vessels conducted a military and surveillance operation during their development to the Being Sea and North Pacific Ocean. A U.S. Coast Guard source later cited the media in a report confirming the Chinese ships were present in the U.S. EEZ exclusive economic zone, which extends for off Alaska coast. Now, I will tell you this: if China does attack Alaska, do you think Biden's going to do anything? I mean, Texas has no problem allowing people in Texas to sell land that is American land to the Chinese. And that, from what I understand, is actually against the law. A foreign entity is not allowed to own land in America. We'll do this. See what it comes up with. China is buying America farms, and Washington wants to crack. China owns U.S. How the Chinese are buying up America. Rep. Roy introduced legislation. Does China own any land in the U.S. mainland? Yes or and why? America soil is increasingly foreign owned. NPR. How much of the United States does China really own? Fox. Young farmers say foreign developers are buying up U.S. land. The dramatic increase of foreign-owned farmlands with daily. As foreign investment in U.S. farmland grows, efforts to ban. List of U.S. companies owned by China. How much U.S. land is owned by foreign countries? It just goes on and on and on and on. But can they? Look at how much land this is. Look at this. For 1.9 billion, including land used for farming, ranching, foresting. Is that not aiding the enemy? So we have China next to Alaska. You got this dude coming out right now saying that, or people saying that he coerced with China. And so what do? What can you do? There's not really much you can do. All you can do is sit and wait. Chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff General Mark Milley staged a coup against President Donald Trump in the days of leading to the federal and 2020 election and the days after January 6th, according to the new book. So this is out of a book. The book called Peril, journalist Bob Woodward, Washington Post reporter Robert Costa claims Milley made two top secret phone calls to the Communist China, assuring that he would tip them off if an event of an attack by the U.S. That right there is treason. That is aid to the enemy, whether you like it or not. China is our enemy. And it sucks that we put China in power because I'm a firm damn believer we should have left China in the hands of Japan. It would have been a much better situation because they still took our goddamn contract. They lost the war in World War II, so we said you can't have a standing army, but you can have the Navy ships and the people that protect your country, but not a standing army. If we would have just said back in those days, we're going to let you keep China because you're adopting this, because we didn't do that with China. We put people in power and then we ripped it out from under them. They became commies. They learned the lesson in how to do it. And I am a firm believer that we should have left China in the hands of Japan. And to those of you that think we're a democracy, knock it the blank off, dude. That's another thing that's drowning me the fuck out. How stupid Americans are. We are not a democracy. The only part of our country that is a democracy is when we vote for a president. We are a constitutional republic. Regardless of whatever it is that you believe that we are a constitutional republic. Get it in your thick skulls. That's to all the comedians. That's to all the politicians. That's to all the news anchors. That's to all the people. We are a constitutional republic. If you want us to be a democracy, then because so many people are ditching CNN ratings and CNN needs to shut the fuck down. Because Greg Gutfeld is now the top of the ticket. And he's on Fox News. Let's see here. The book called Peril Journey, Bob Woodward. Washington Post reporter Robert Costa claims Milley made two top secret phone calls to the Communist China, assuring the Chinese. And this was done by the Washington Post. So I don't know what they're doing. Top General was so fearful Trump might spark war that he made secret calls to his Chinese counterpart, new book says. One called took place on October 30th, 2020, 4 days before the election. Unseated President Donald Trump. And the others January 8th in 2021, 2 days after the Capitol siege carried by the supporters of the quest to cancel the vote. The first call was prompted by Milley's review intelligence suggesting the Chinese believed the United States was preparing to attack. That belief, the other right, was based on the tension of the military exercise in the South China Sea and depended by Trump's brilliance. Now, I will tell you that I feel bad for any of the people that we support, especially any of those that are by China. Get the fuck out, bro, or start building your own nukes. Or detonate them, better yet, because maybe China will say, well, we're going to come and get you. Let them detonate the ground. Because this administration ain't going to protect you. I'm sorry. That's a hard pill to swallow, but we now have massive truckloads of fucking drugs coming from China that are making their way in from Mexico again. The first call, I did that. General Lee, I want to assure you that the American government is stable and everything is going to be okay. Milley told him. We are not going to attack and conduct any logistic operations against you. In the book, that right there is aid to the enemy. That right there is telling China, hey, go ahead and kick us around. We're not going to do nothing to you. In the book account, Milley went so far as to pledge he would alert the counterpart in the event of a U.S. attack. That right there is comfort. That is aid. He pledged his loyalty to China. Put a bullet in him, government. Take his everything. His everything. Stressing the report they'd established the back channels. Generally, you and I have known each other for 5 years. If we're going to attack, I'm going to call ahead of time and going to be a surprise. That right there would allow China to know ahead of time that we're coming and allow China to do a sneak attack on our warships to kill American soldiers. Millet. Treason. Aid. Bullet in the back, China. Because I don't like you, China. I think you're a bunch of losers. If I was president, I'd already done nuked you bitches. In a second call made after January 6th protest, Book claims Milley agreed the White House Speaker Nancy Pelosi that Trump was unsuitable and made assurances to the Chinese that nothing would happen. We are 100% steady. Everything is fine, but democracy can be sloppy sometimes. We are not a democracy. We are a constitutional republic. It should read, we are 100% steady. Everything is fine. But constitutional republics can be sloppy sometimes. That is bullshit. Because we're not supposed to be getting in any of these foreign wars anyway. We are a constitutional republic, everybody. Stop letting the Chinas rewrite our history. Lee reminded Rattle and Milley, who did not relay a conversation to Trump, according that right there's treason right there, because he didn't tell the president that he just ratted him out, or decided to have secret conversations with the enemy. According to the book, understand why the chairman, 62 at the time, had chosen by Trump in 2018, believed the president had suffered a mental decline. So this president, Biden, hasn't discovered a mental decline. The motherfucker can't even speak straight. America, you good portion of Americans, the president cannot speak right. He is this. He's yeah, and you recall, and you recall this, and you said this, and you wait me, yeah. Oh, I'm gonna hand it off to you because I can't answer questions. I'll get in trouble. I'm worried about a takeover, and that's why they're trying to go after the guns, and that's why Biden is sitting here trying to take our ammo away right now. If China's really next to it, then Alaska might go first because Biden ain't gonna protect it. Sorry, Alaska. What am I saying to you is that if you couldn't even stop him from an assault on the Capitol, who even knew what else may do? And is there anybody in charge at the White House who was doing anything but kissing his fat butt all over this? Pelosi reportedly told Milley. Treason! You know, he's a crazy, she said, continued. He's been crazy for a long time. Milley repeatedly responded, Madam Speaker, I agree with you on everything.
The next act is temporarily allegedly took place on the same day when Milley called a secret emergency meeting with the Pentagon, demanding his Defense Department subordinate not to be not to obey any orders from Trump. Treason! No matter what. You are told you do not perdure, you do the process, and I'm part of the procedure, Milley told the officers, according to the book CNN regards. If this is true, General Milley must resign. He's unsurprised civilian authority broke chain in command and violated the supreme principle of the civilian control over the military. It's an extremely dangerous percent. You can't simply walk away from that. Okay, that's just that story. Now we're on California. A sheriff in California said on Monday that he will not force department employees or job applications to be vaccinated. No, I hear that, and that's pretty cool. But guess what? Do I believe it? No, I don't. I don't believe it at all. I was on Facebook earlier today, and I saw a nurse, right? And the nurse had a sign that says, "Last year we were heroes." And I tweeted to the picture, not to the person, but to the picture. How can I support you when last year you guys were dancing around, you were demanding everyone wear masks and get vaccinated and so on and so forth, but now it's your turn to get vaccinated. Now you don't want it. So why am I supposed to support you? I agree with them to say no, but I disagree with the fact that now they're trying to say, support us. No, no. You lost my support, people. And then the next one. Rand Paul interrogates Blinken. Did the drone strike kill aid worker or ISIS? And again, this is what I was discussing earlier when I was going through my little rant. Like, what's the point? Because nothing happens. Nothing happens to these people. Nothing ever happens to them. And I have to sit here and wonder if we're all going to be okay by next week. Granted, thank God that I don't live in a major city, so. LA, you're going first, friend. Let's say it says, see what Rand Paul has to say. Well, he doesn't know. He won't tell us because he knows deep down inside that it doesn't matter because he's not going to get in trouble for it. Nothing that happens, he ever get in trouble for. This dude doesn't need to answer anything. Okay? It's people like that the Democrats went after Trump for because of the crazy shit they said Trump was doing. But in reality, they went his entire term of voter inclusion and everything else. We just bombed somebody and we're not even going to talk about it. We just bombed somebody and we're making jokes. 4 years we had really no killing in Afghanistan because Donald Trump was bombing the hell out of them. And 7 months of Joe Biden's tyranny, we lost 13. And what do we get? We get 13 dead. 13 dead. 13 dead. Friday the 13th. 13 dead. And then we get these motherfuckers saying that, oh, well, we can't tell you about it. We have to hide it from the American people. You don't need to hide nothing. We already know what you did. You killed the motherfucker. You killed them. You slaughtered them. You took them out, you fucking clown. You think I'm supposed to follow orders from you? If you were in my face right now, I would bitch slap the fuck out of you because you a punk. Because you got some military clearance that I should be worried about you and scared about you? Fuck no. You ain't shit to me, son. You an old goat. You a punk. And you enjoyed killing those motherfuckers. And just like how you enjoyed the fact that the women that are in Afghanistan right now are getting fucked up and raped and murdered and executed and shot in the back of the head and brought to their fucking knees, you enjoyed it. It brought you good. I bet you nut up to it, my guy. And another person that I stopped listening to, Amazing Lucas, because he's amazingly commie now. He's amazingly, I'll shut you down if I don't like your speech on my channel. He's amazingly, oh, well, we got a black man running for governor. He'll be the first black man running for governor, but he's not worth the time for me because I like my overlord as long as I don't get locked in my house. He's amazingly a Lucas. That's why they called Obama Obama in chief, because he liked to bomb a lot of people. Now, I agree with that. You left the air base, which allowed China, which aid, they got all of our stuff. We didn't blow it up. We gave it to them with arms wide open. And they still have all that stuff. Friday the 13th, guys. Telling you. Telling you. Let's see here. And I don't know where they get off by calling them ISIS K. That's just weird. That's just strange. I mean, where did they get the name from? Did they just straight up come out and say on Facebook or Twitter, we're now ISIS K? That's what we are. We're ISIS K from now on. There's not a damn thing you can do about it. Okay? We are ISIS K. Promise you. We're golden. Yay. And then this dude doesn't even answer the question. So it's stonewalling. It's stonewalling. It's stonewalling. Just like Fast and Furious, it's stonewalling. And you know, I am kind of irritated with the news media. I think it was Fox News. And I swear it was kind of like he said that Trump was the one that came up with Fast and Furious or something. It was weird. I was like, wait, that was Trump or that was Biden or Obama giving guns to the drug cartel. Well, let's go back to this. So Biden, Kamala Harris, Democrats should all be considered treason because they can be proven that they have given aid to our enemies. As it says here, treason is the only crime defined in the U.S. Constitution according to Article 3, Section 3. Treason against the United States shall consist of only in levying war against them or in adhering to their enemies, giving them aid and comfort. No person shall be convicted of treason unless on the testimony of two witnesses the same ever. Now, it's in a book. It's in a book, everybody. And I'm pretty sure it's on the transcripts. The section authorized Congress to set a penalties for treason, but not to change the definition to create degrees of treason. The federal treason statute is 18 U.S.C. S 238(1), mirrors the Constitution's language and impose minimum penalties for 5 years in prison, $10,000 fine. A conviction bars the defendant from holding any federal office and carries a possibility of the death penalty. And nobody's going to hold him accountable for it. Who's going to hold him accountable for it? We tried to hold people accountable during the election, and then it came out to be the worst thing since 9/11, and then it came out to be worse than 9/11. That right there was worse than 9/11. When you sit there and say something where nobody fucking died but one girl, and a cop that had a stroke that you tried to say the American people that were wearing Trump hats took them out. It's crazy stuff that you guys are pulling, and none of this is funny. It's all jokes. It's like this cat. You know, I like this cat, but to me it's a terrorist because he's always snuggling. He's always trying to get up in the way. He's always trying to mess with me. He's a lovable kitty. Potential traitor. Treason doesn't apply to foreign nationals who don't owe any allegiance to the United States. It does apply to American citizens holding dual citizenships. It also applies to aliens. So basically, a Mexican in the United States who owe a temporary allegiance to the country while living there. Elements of treason. The same under the state of federal law. The defendants owe allegiance to the government, and defendants betrays that allegiance by either levying war against the government or giving aid and comfort to the government enemies. Because treason must be international, someone who is unintentional aids the enemy is forced to by duress or concern is guilty of treason. So how come giving them helicopters and weapons and jets and planes and land and women to rape and fuck and impregnate to bring out more terrorists? How is not calling the Chinese government and telling them, hey, we're not going to come and attack you? I'll let you know ahead of time. How is that not comfort? How? How am I supposed to take this government seriously if I can't even trust the damn thing? Two types of treason. There are two ways to commit treason. Levying war against the government. The people you left all those weapons to, Democrat voters, was Al Qaeda. And if another person tells me that Al Qaeda didn't take down 9/11 or do 9/11, then why the fuck were we in war? Huh? If they didn't do it, why the hell were we there for 20 years? That's another thing that's been bugging me. Why are we in Afghanistan? Why did we knock it off? Why did we take out Saddam and Bin Laden if they didn't do it? You sit there and say, well, we wanted the oil. Then why the fuck didn't we take the oil? Why did Trump, during 2016 or 2015, when he was running for president, say, I've been saying for years since it happened that if we're going to go in, we need to take the oil. We need to take the oil. We need to take the oil. But then Biden gets in, or Obama gets in, and then he gives ISIS the oil fields. Then Trump gets in, and he blows up the oil fields, and then takes them. And then Obama gets in, or Biden gets in, with Obama in the earpiece, coming out saying, let's see how all the Americans and the new 20-year constitutionalist or democracy people like it when we sell them out and allow them to get raped every night. How does it feel? Does it make you feel good? Bet it does. Levying war isn't limited to formally declaring war. It includes any forcible option of execution of public law, such as a formidable opposition, orderly, and requires actual use of force by multiple people with a common purpose, which is the law. When the police go to your house with a bunch of people and they raid your place because they say you're not supposed to work or open your store because it's COVID lockdown time, that would be considered treason because they're going after you. It's a big ass organization. It can go both ways, at least in my opinion. It should go both ways. If the government can't be held guilty for anything, then what the fuck should we be held guilty for? Ordinary requires actual use of force by multiple people with a common purpose of preventing some law from being enforced. Weapons aren't always required to sheer numbers. You mean like Antifa all of 2018 and 17 and 16 and fucking 15 and 2020. All 4 years. And the Democrats were like so scared of Antifa, they said to themselves, we'll let Biden take over because it will send Antifa home. And what happened? Not a damn thing. Merely conspiring to overthrow the government isn't levying war. There must be an actual assemblage of people who are ready to intend to use force, but see related crimes below, so no person acting alone can be guilty of levying war. Well, that's good to know. Let's see here. Providing aid or comfort to the enemy covers the variety actions from providing financial assistance to hereby an enemy soldier. Any international act of further the enemy hostile designs of the weakness of the United States gives aid to the comfort to adheres the enemy. Again, we left all those planes and all those things with the Taliban, with Joe Biden's friends. Joe Biden's buddies have all of the weapons now. I bet that's a good thing. All right, so in order to prove treason, the prosecution needs either a confession or two witnesses testifying to the same overt act by the defendant, an overt act, that shows criminal intent. Further, well, we have an entire country that knows Afghanistan has those weapons. We have an entire government that knows that Afghanistan isn't scared of Biden. We have an entire government that knows, or people that knows, that Trump would not allow this to happen. So, in other words, the American people all committed treason by putting Mr. Potato Head in office. Treason change must be specific. The relevant act, including where they took place, necessary that all partition commit the same overt difference, commit different overact. As part of the one treasonous plan, the government alleges multiple overacts and needs to prevent or prove only one of them by the two witnesses. While the testimony from two witnesses is required, the overt act of intentional betrays can be proved in the same way intent for any other crime. First Amendment defense. The First Amendment is the primary limitation on treason. Prosecution's freedom of speech allows people to express their anger towards the government, even a desire to overthrow it. But it doesn't protect speech that is likely to ignite others to violence. I can understand that. It's called a call to action. You can't do a call to action. Me personally, I have no problem saying to the government, you're all a bunch of piece of shits. And we need to start putting people in that actually give a damn about this country. But although words usually can't constitute treason by themselves, they can serve as proof the speaker's treasonous intent. You know, there's a lot of Democrats that did a lot of word splaining when Trump was in office. There's a lot. But alright, I'm going to go through and find all those videos because that's actually quite interesting. You could actually put some of them Democrat clowns in office for treason, especially since their army was Antifa. And through the 4 years, you have people like Nadler saying they don't exist. Alright. So now it's time for me to let go and see how this video works on YouTube, and then see how the recording works on YouTube. So if you like the video, like and subscribe, and I'll have an Odyssey link at the description box, and you can follow me there. You know, because like I said, YouTube's about done. I'm about done with the YouTubes. You know, Odyssey's there now. Let's have fun with Odyssey, even though